Good afternoon. How are you? Fantastic. So welcome to this session about building ISV solutions on the Power Platform. My name is Julie Strauss. I am a PM owner for 3 areas of the platform, or 3 personas, which is really the admin persona, the developer, the pro developer, as well as ISV experiences. So I might actually have to adjust the content a little bit as we go, depending on how much, if there is a uniform audience or not. So how many of you are brand new to the Power Platform? Okay. How many of you will characterize yourself as ISVs? System integrators? Both? Okay. So when I say an ISV, I mean a company that focuses on building repeatable IP, meaning the majority of your revenue comes from software licenses. When I say an SI, the majority of the revenue comes from consultancy. And that's not a right or wrong. Just so you are aware of my terminology as I go through this is really how we think about it. And the reason I say that is we are actually seeing a big shift. A year ago or before, we had separated out the Power pieces or the Power Platform from CRM. We saw the vast majority of our partners were system integrators. It was about customizing dynamics. Now we are actually seeing a rapid shift towards more and more ISV solutions, partners building repeatable IP, where it is building a solution, installing customer tenant, and not necessarily spending all that much time customizing it. So we see more confined solution that way. We also see a lot of partners that does build repeatable IP, but then collaborate with system integrators. But we see more different flavors of the two. So first I want to talk a little bit more. How many of you are working predominantly with Dynamics 365 for sales, service, marketing, talent? Okay. And finance and operations? Okay. How many of you are purely building Power Apps? Okay. That's a good spread. I probably can't change my slides a whole lot. So this is a level 200, so it will be focusing on the end-to-end, but I feel that enough is still changing that it is actually worth spending time walking through that end-to-end and regardless. But thinking, how many of you are ISVs building apps and solutions on Azure? How many of you have never touched the platform from an ISV perspective in terms of Dynamics or Power Platform? Pure, okay. That's not so many, okay? So I can skip quickly over the first ones. The business opportunity. So looking at towards 2020, the business opportunity for the total addressable market has been estimated to 173 billion. And about 60% of that will really be ISV solutions. And that actually fits well with the trend we are seeing, where there is a shift towards system integrators, towards ISVs, and even many system integrators that are building an additional service around the ISV workload to complement the system integration work. And looking at that from a Microsoft perspective, while we see the average market growing at a little more than 20%, the Microsoft BizApp space have actually been seeing a growth at 51%. So it is significantly higher than what happens with other vendors. The reason we believe is we are one of a kind. And it really comes together with how we fit in terms of the greater Microsoft, with the BizApps on top, and Azure, the full cloud platform underneath us. So we do see partners as well as customers coming from both ends. So obviously, the vast majority of our ISV and partner solutions on Power Platform today really stems from Dynamics, right? That is where we have had partners for a decade working with us, building solutions, going into verticals, helping us go to market there. And then now we see kind of the Power Platform partners that may not necessarily work with Dynamics come in there. But we also see a quite significant shift from what we call Azure partners that has never looked at Dynamics, that hasn't even necessarily thought about biz apps, but they have multi-tenant SaaS solutions that they sell as ISVs to customers that run on Azure that want to build complementary solutions where now, because of the approachability, how easy it is to approach the Power Platform and building connectors, et cetera, are starting to build complementary apps around the Azure workloads. This most often come into place as customers buy a subscription to an app. It's super easy. They get going very quickly. But over time, the customer come back and say, hey, you have my data. When you're building a multi-tenant SaaS solution in Azure, you as an ISV, the data is under your subscription, and it can be hard for the customer to get to it unless you give them connectivity and access to that data. And many ISVs are not really doing that because it hasn't been the norm. But we see a lot of pressure for partners coming to us now and say, wow, looking at Power Apps and how you can easily customize these ISV solutions, can I have that for Azure? Can I have that for the solution I built on AWS? And we have been saying, no, that's part of the Power Platform. But we are actually investing in SDKs to allow for that as well. But that is kind of what we see from a customer pressure into the partner ecosystem, the expectations for being able to customize and build their own apps on top of the data that ISVs are capturing just becomes, kind of increases quite a bit. And why? Because we all talk about data. Data is the value. Data is gold. But then when you realize that all the data you collect as part of your key operations are locked under somebody else's subscription, you start to create pressure for wanting to get that data out. And that is actually where our connector story comes out. Because that will enable both customers and partners to liberate some of that data and build applications on top. So obviously, Dynamics on top, where you can customize Dynamics using the Power Platform, and then Azure underneath. Obviously, the Power Platform Common Data Service is built on Azure, SQL database essentially, but there's also a lot of integration efforts we do with the rest of Azure, like Azure Services. We see functions being used a lot for business logic, and obviously integration with API management, as well as all of the data services, essentially. And there's a separate session tomorrow around Azure integration and some of the investments we are doing there. So now that we say the opportunity is so big, what are we doing about it? If you go back a year, we actually didn't have dedicated investments in ISVs as a persona, as we do now. We invested in makers, in the admin, in users. Like, we had teams built around that, driving capabilities into the platform. And as a partner, you would get the capabilities we gave to enterprise customers. But we made a pivot maybe a year ago where we actually funded a team specifically to look at how we are investing in the platform from an ISV perspective. And obviously, you all know how you are different, but we will get to some of these investments in a bit. But you definitely do have other requirements, or at least we know there's a lot you would like us to invest in that benefit you as a group more than potentially customers. So at a high level, we invested and announced the ISV Connect program, which I assume you have all heard about. And under that umbrella, there are really three sets of investments. One is everything we do in the platform to build that out from an ISV perspective. That's what this session is about. But we also have what we call a unified ISV experience. This is where you see a lot of energy around Partner Center and AppSource. And at a very high level, if you go back before July, we had many different catalogs in Microsoft for hosting ISV solutions and our own solutions. We had one for Azure solutions. We had one for business solutions. We had a third for our field. So we were kind of moving offers around and asked both customers as well as our own field to go to different locations to identify partner and our own first-party solutions. So we have done a consolidation there, meaning under the covers, we now have one ingestion catalog, where whether you are building solutions for Azure, for BizApps, whether you're a field person, we ingest all the solution into one place, and we have different UI experiences. So the field go and look for co-sell opportunities in the same catalog that customers access to browse. They obviously have different user interfaces, but that streamlines quite a bit, and it helps, obviously, us to make sure that our field see what all our customers are seeing as well. And then we have alignment around sales and marketing. There's a lot of work going around, are we investing in terms of how we are compensating the field. You might know from before, we had co-sell programs you were invited into. Very often, the field would favor our first-party solutions, because at the end of the day, that was how they got their quota, unless there was a specific incentive in place. But now, with the ISV program, we are making sure that our field actually get compensated for third-party solutions as well. The whole idea is there, that obviously we make sure that the field is interested in selling the solution that fits the customer better, not the one that pay them more. Makes sense, you would think, so that's obviously why we invested there. And then with that, we are going to focus, the rest of the session is really going to focus about the platform and what we are doing at it. So from an engineering perspective, this is really how we think about the investments we are doing. We really want to optimize for creating an obvious choice for ISVs building business solutions. And this is not that we say we want to favor this over Azure. We see a lot of collaboration with Azure, but we definitely want to favor this over other platforms. And the mission there is really for us to reduce friction. And for those of you who've been on the platform for a while, hopefully you see some of these changes already. But a lot of the feedback, at least we've been hearing since we took a very ISV-specific focus, is it's hard. You have to know somebody in the product team to know how to do some things, or how to get onboarded onto AppSource. If you know somebody or you know the person to call, it's quicker. And obviously, if we want to scale, we want to make sure that all of these things are super easy. You should be able to walk up to the web pages, Microsoft.com, see that we care about ISVs. Customers should see that we care about ISVs. It should be easy to get started, etc. So there's a range of investment outside engineering as well, but obviously from an engineering perspective, we are really focused on just closing gaps and making it much easier to get started. So any feedback you have as well, not just today, but tomorrow, about friction areas, julie.strauss@microsoft.com. Please feel free to overwhelm me with feedback. We really want to hear it, and the more we hear, the better we can kind of bucket where to invest first. And obviously, so coming to the strategy, right now, where we are focusing on to reduce the friction are really on 3 pillars. I'll talk to them a little bit more when we go into the product, but it's really about tooling, specifically around pro developer tooling. It's about monitoring and managing your solutions across tenants, which is really where the BizApp platform is unique compared to, for example, multi-tenant SaaS, a solution in Azure. And then lastly, it's around embedding. How can you take, which I talked to a little bit before, how can you build solutions and embed business apps and Canvas apps, etc., into other solutions living on other platforms for us to get kind of in front of all of the customers there. So looking at where we are today, I'm going to run super quickly through these because I could see most of you know all the pieces, but this is really the all-up platform, end-to-end ISV, no ISV. We have all the different components, so Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and now newest kid on the block, Power Virtual Agents. Under the covers there, we have the data connectors, which really increases day by day. Last week, there was 172. This week, there's probably 175. And again, that was an investment area we started as a platform where we created connectors out of the box. But now we are working with all of the partners building solutions also elsewhere, or building solutions that connect to other platforms that are onboarding our connector system, where you would literally show up as connectors inside the platform. And that is really an ecosystem that is just growing now as its own. And then AI Builder and the Common Data Service, I'll double click into these a little bit. So first, Power Apps. And many people, when we say Power Apps, they think Canvas apps. When I say Power Apps, I mean a license type that allows you to build either model-driven apps or Canvas apps. So Power Apps is a license type, and they have different flavors. And yes, you can build model-driven apps, which is really, and most of you probably know this, it's around building apps around well-defined processes. And I will show both of these flavors of applications, but it's really about, I think of it as you whiteboard a specific business process that you want a user to follow. And you have that user walk through those flows, and the UI will help guide the user. These are typically workflows where you don't want creativity. Like if you are in a bank, you don't want the teller to decide whether you want to see an ID or not, right? It's a mandatory field in a well-defined process, and the app actually helps you be more efficient doing your job. Then we have Canvas apps, which is how most of you might think about Power Apps, which is really free form. We start with the look and feel first and bind it to data afterwards. These are typically not used in those scenarios, and they're built screen by screen, meaning they are very often more confined apps focused around a specific task. So there you can typically see a single app built into 5 different, or a single scenario built into 5 different apps. They all work against the same back end, meaning it doesn't matter how many apps you have, but they are simple, they are centered around a single task. And I'll show both of these flavors. Then we have Power Automate, which is really all about, obviously, as you heard yesterday as well, newest kid on the block there, UI, flows for robotic process automation. That is really added on to what you previously knew as flow capabilities. So it's around business processes, which is now also part of the business processes that we deliver as part of the Power App solutions. It's about automation. It's about approvals. It's about workflows. And then we have the Common Data Service. And this is actually where we often get a lot of questions when we have a room with both what I think of as Azure developers and BizApp developers. It's like, when do I use what, and are they competing? For me, they're not competing. And my background is SQL. I worked on the ISV workload for SQL database, Postgres and MySQL, PostgreSQL and MySQL before I joined BizApps. And had I known then what I know now, I think I would have done a lot of things differently. But very often, these are really, I look at the BizApp platform as complementary. If you already have a multi-tenant SaaS solution in Azure, there are so many opportunities for you to upsell solutions to your customers, liberating some of their data, giving them companion apps. And actually, the scenario I'll be showing you with a model-driven app and building a companion app to go along with it, that could be for that core app could be anywhere. It could be on AWS, could be in Azure. But there are so many opportunities to create these satellite apps or companion apps that are just complementing. And why are they complementing? Because the app you typically built around one process or one business area, you are not giving to a large scale of your enterprise or your customers. It's a very dedicated group of people. But by building companion apps, you can reach a much wider audience within your enterprise. You can give them access to that data because it's all one data source, which is why it doesn't matter whether you have 5 or 50 apps. you're not having any data sprawl. It's located in the same place. But you can have a much wider addressable market inside the enterprise to contribute and get value from that data. And that's really where we see a lot of these satellite applications and new, I would call it ISV creativity, come up. Does that resonate? Does it make sense? No. Or you're just tired. Okay. AI Builder, also a new kid on the block, announced this summer, which is really around built-in models that we are delivering out of the box. So again, we are not inventing anything new AI from a BizApp perspective. We are taking all the value that is already being delivered in Azure, but we are making it more easily consumable in a BizApp perspective. So making it low-code, no-code, easy to address. So think of it about, we have like 4 very easy scenarios that we know we can deliver on well. It is around binary classification. So think about, you have data. Is my customer likely to churn? Yes, no, etc. We have form processing. So imagine you have a lot of different invoices coming from another system. You don't want to rekey all of the customer addresses, etc. You can add all of these invoices or whatever they are to a file share, and we can read out and map name, address, etc. to fields inside the CDS. So automating a lot of that form processing. We have object detection, scanning, train your fields to detect an object and be able to have devices that can detect objects for you as part of your apps, as well as text classification, which is really around tagging. And today, we do not have what I would call full ISV extensibility model around AI Builder. We will, so if you have areas you want to see that, please reach out. We would like to hear what you want to see there. But it still adds a lot of value for you as a partner, as ISV, because your customer can take the data, high-value data that you generate, and allow them to do more with it. So it's still a key part of the ISV story in terms of the value you can give to your customers. And then the last one, Power Virtual Agents, which is, again, just announced, which is really around the ability to create bots on top of the data hosted on our platform as well. Then what I've gone through so far is what is available to everyone. Now the very specific ISV and areas where we invest are, as I said before, around building and deploying, around managing, and about extending. And I will actually only, from a demo perspective, focus on the middle one today, just because it is a relatively short session. But for build and deploy, that is really around our pro dev tooling and DevOps integration. We heard a lot, since we took a shift and looked specifically at ISV, we heard a lot of feedback about our pro dev tooling, or I would say lack of pro dev tooling. We had a toolkit for VS that's been in market forever. We didn't really release it. It was in beta. We haven't updated it. So we have a team fully invested in updating the tooling. The first kind of investment we did was to build new tooling for PCF, Power Apps Component Framework, which really allows you to do 2 things. Make components out of different pieces that you build in Canvas apps. So instead of recreating a header out of 50 different components, you create it once, map it as a component, which you can reuse again and again. But it is also the ability for you to create your own custom UI. One of the pieces of feedback that I got a lot when I joined, because I come from SQL, I continue to talk a lot of the ISVs from SQL, etc. It's like, your UI is so restrictive. It is not what I want. I can see it from a form, why you want it. It's a lot of value out of the box, but that's a lot I want to do. I do want to do my own look and feel, etc. So with the PCF, we really allow you to only, I would say, your own imagination puts boundaries on you. You can create any React control you want and ship that as part of your solutions. And also we've done another one that we have had a lot of feedback is our Devops, continuous integration. Like we've had feedback since we released the Power Apps build tools, which is really our integration into Azure Devops. We have had partners like, gosh, I've been waiting for 11 years for this. So we feel that has been received very, very well, and we'll continue to invest there. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I do recommend you go do that. Manage and monitor is really around ISV Studio. I will show a demo of it, so I will save the time a little bit. But at a high level, that is really about when you develop a solution, obviously, on the BizApp platform. I call us a hybrid, because you build in your own dev environment, and you package it up, and you ship it to a customer. For me, that feels a little bit on-premise, right? Compared to if you are building a multi-tenant SaaS on Azure and AWS, you build once, and you get all the telemetry. You know what each customer does. You know what they click on, what they use, what they don't use. We don't really have that in the sense that once you deploy it, you give it to a customer, and you can lose sight. You can lose sight of what happens to that package after that, unless you have, obviously, a good connection. And if you're a system integrator and you are a delegated admin or an admin on the system, of course you know what they're doing. But you can't scale like that. So the ISV Studio is really about taking all the telemetry for when your solution gets installed and bringing that back to you in a single experience. So you can start seeing today even, we have partners that are not aware that their solution is installing when customers install it from AppSource. With the ISV Studio, you can see how many get installed, how many fail, etc. So that's ISV Studio. And then finally is about extending. The way we started or accelerated a lot of the growth with Power Apps in a specific Canvas app was about being embedded as part of SharePoint, right? We are the customization platform for SharePoint. Meaning if you have a SharePoint list and you build an app on top, that's really Power Apps, right? It's Canvas apps. And that's where we are getting a lot of feedback from partners who want to say, I want to do that same scenario in Teams, in my own apps. That is really what Extend is about, allowing you to take Power Apps and embed it wherever you want to. So with that, all ISV patterns. I bring this up because very often we get a lot of questions around how should I think about it? How should I think about Dynamics versus Power Apps, etc., versus Flow or versus, well, Power Automate now. I need to retrain myself, as well as Power BI. We really think of it in 3 buckets. Extend. That really means you extend Dynamics 365. Your customer purchase Dynamics 365 for sales, service, marketing, and you use the Power Platform to extend that. Or as a partner, you build a vertical solution, or you add more horizontal functionality. But you start from the Dynamics application layer, and that's what the customer experiences as well. The next bucket is around building standalone Power Apps. This is a scenario where your customer may not even know there's anything called Dynamics, and you do not start with Dynamics. Your customer would buy a Power Apps license, and they would install your solution and use that from there. Guess what? They might look the same. You can hardly see the difference because they look the same. But from a licensing perspective and embedded capabilities, which entities are installed, that's different. And then the last one is about Connect, where you can have an app living somewhere else, you create a connector, and you create apps of it. Or the other way around, where you are connecting into data from CDS and building other solutions, or feeding that into other solutions. So these are really the 3 flavors of ISV or SI solutions that we see. And these just walk through them in more details. So extending Dynamics, you build on top of our first-party applications. You built net new, have nothing to do with Dynamics per se, but still on the same platform. And then Connect is completely on the side of any of our applications. So with that, I wanted to run through kind of what it would look like to build a solution end-to-end on the platform. And I have built my favorite topic here, a veterinary clinic patient management solution. And it's just because it's fun for me to build, so that's why I picked that. So the process I will go through is I will start with my developer environment, right? Some of you have entitlement. I'm going to use the community SKU, which is a single user SKU, meaning I can build just for me, I can package it up, and I can share it. I cannot build apps and share with anybody else, but that's not really the intent either. It is intended for me to build my solution. Each developer can have their own. You should be in source code anyway, so that actually fits that recommended best practice. Then I have gone in and I've created my own custom entities. So I start with a base CDS solution and I add my own custom entities. I add my business logic, my option sets. I love option sets to go and predefine the behaviors I want to surface in the app. Then I start first by building a model-driven app. So in my scenario, I am really building, let's say, the idea here is that I'm a veterinary hospital, and I am a single vet in that hospital. So I know all my patients. I know all the pets. I know all the names. I can remember why they were there last. So I have a check-in form. So I don't know if any of you have pets, but every time you go, you ask the same questions, like, do they eat the same? Do they do whatever funny things? And it's a very systematic schema that they go through, ask you questions, and they fill it in. A model-driven form is perfect because we want to know everything. We want to know if their weight changed, because if they get medication, they have to have the right amount. So it's a very model-driven approach. But then now the practice grow. And suddenly I have 50 vets, or 20, or however. Now I can no longer keep track. And the service is not very good anymore because I have no idea that I even saw you before. And maybe it wasn't me, it was another vet. So what I'm going to build is a companion app using a Canvas app that we can use to check in the patient. You don't want the front-end personnel to have that full system. You want a very simple greeting app. You see who is visiting today, add additional comment, and send a notification to each vet that the pet has arrived and why you saw them last, right? So you're not changing the old system. You're just adding a companion app to it. So I'm going to walk you through that. And then going to build a Power BI dashboard on top. Obviously, how we integrate with Power BI. We can embed Power BI as well in other dashboards. And then package up the solution. And then sell. Publish means publish to AppSource. Sell means work with our fields to sell, and monitor means use ISV Studio to monitor the activity and the use of your solutions. So with that, I will switch over to my environment here. Let's see. Actually, if it will do that. There you go. So I'm actually going to start out here on the pricing page where you go and find your app. If you scroll down right here, you see the free community plan, which is the developer SKU that I'm going to be using. So when using that, what you get out of the box is 20 so standard entities. So here you get account, address, appointment, etc. Everything you see over here that is standard. There's only 20 or so compared to the 150 you get with some of the first-party applications. So it's the base entities you get with CDS. If you customer only buy a Power Apps license, that's what you get. I have added my own custom entities. So I have added pet, for example, and I have added medical history. And in here you see all the business logic that I've built into it. So if I was a customer, I may just go ahead and build an app. But I am an ISV. I know I will package it. I know I will publish it to AppSource. At least you will package it and give it to a customer. So I actually want to start from a solution. Now it's not a big... A few months ago, you could not add a component after the fact. You had to start with a solution with Canvas apps and flows. Now we support both, so it's not a big deal. But here are the 3 different apps that is part of my package to my customers. The first one is my model-driven app, which has 2 pieces to it. It has the pet registry, so every time I get a new pet or new patients, I go sign them up. I can see their name, species, how old they are, etc. And then I have pet medical record, where whenever I'm going to check them in, each pet in, I will go here and look them up. And I'll say today, I will see Felix. And if they want to cooperate, the network did not want to play nice with me before, but I hope that's not. Anyway, it's not going to work with me now. It might. Let's see. No. Okay, reconnect. Anyway, this one, I will actually skip this one. It's very simple. I go through each different stage, checking the pet in, asking all the regular questions, whether they have been sick, whether they are limping, etc. So that's a regular routine that I would go through to check in that pet. I would examine them, and out comes the diagnosis in the end. And you'd see how I built in option sets for pre-selected answers where that's valuable. So essentially taking all the business logic that you get as part of the platform and built a very process-oriented flow around that. Now, days go by, and I want to build my companion app, my greeting app for my front-end personnel. So again, I want to connect to the exact same backend, same version of CDS, and I'm going to insert just a gallery in here and put it and add it down here, and I'll go ahead and connect. So here, for example, I can go in and connect to a data source. I'm going to connect to pets because that's what I'm going to use. But I want to go in here, and you see if I add a new connection, this is what I talked about before with the 270-something data sources. And why is it relevant? Because if you're used to working with model-driven forms, you work over a single data source. With Canvas, you can work against any data source. We have the 270 out of the box, but you can build your own custom connectors as well. So you have much more flexibility in how you start to bridge data together. But I'll go in here, and I'll connect to pets. And you can see it directly reads off of the schema here. But instead of saying created on, which is default, what it connects to, I will want to say how long has this pet been a patient. So I'll say patient since, and that's really all it takes. It will go ahead and now change each of the field here. I can go in and I can add images. There you go. And you can see how we'll start building out the app. I really built it screen by screen. I have cheated a little bit, so I've built out the app here, where I've built out a lot more of the metadata. I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to do that. But I actually went ahead as well and created a flow here. So I created a control in flow where I click a button, and all I do is I associate this with an action. So when I go and check in a patient, I have an input field here that is tied to the button. So I can say here, River has checked in, and I can say, please also check her left eyelid, whatever, and I can check in. So now the vet in the back end get a notification, the patient has checked in. I could say last time, remember, they asked for this, they ask how it's going, but this is how they create this personal experience for each of the vets, and they get notified that next patient is there. Right? So that's kind of the idea with the companion apps, to build surrounding experiences. And this is a super simple app. There's literally 5 fields and a checkbox. But that is really the idea. So imagine you have a larger enterprise. You can imagine many different companion apps. Different departments want to act on different sets of your data. So that's really the idea of that. So going back into the next process in my end-to-end scenario would really be that now I want to package this up, which I already did, and then I would publish it to AppSource. Right? So I'll go ahead and I will export it. And you can see first it will ask me to publish all the changes, and then it asks me to run a solution checker. And if you have not already, take one takeaway, go run Solution Checker. Solution Checker will help you find quality issues. I'm not running it here because I have a special version of Solution Checker that I want to see you. But essentially, you will now start. If you're redistributing to customers, please, please, please do manage solutions to make sure that the customers can also uninstall. But this is essentially you create your package. When you're done that, you're ready to onboard onto AppSource. And you do that through Partner Center. And here you go in and you create a new offer. And what is new there is we actually now have a dedicated Power Apps category on AppSource. So if you are only requiring Power Apps licenses, you will see Dynamics 365, customer engagement, and Power Apps on the pipeline where you publish your offers, and it will show in AppSource under a dedicated Power Apps category. So that's new there. Once you have published all of these solutions and customers are ready to start downloading and purchasing, you will get access to the ISV Studio. How many of you have heard about ISV Studio? God, I'm glad you're here. So the ISV Studio, it's in preview, and it's a very minimal preview, and that was by design because there's so many investments we can do here, and we want to make sure we get very targeted feedback for where we do invest. So I do see faces here of people that has already given out a ton of feedback, so appreciate that. But at a high level, right now, it is really about telemetry for customers installing. That's really what it is around today. So here I have mock data for me. There's 2 requirements for using ISV Studio. You must be a publisher on AppSource, and your customers, you will only see telemetry for apps installed through AppSource. There's a lot of good reasons for that. That was not our original plan. The reason we did it that way is that we need to get a better handle on the quality of the solutions that we put in our customer tenants. We spend a lot of dollars and energy on doing live site and get support tickets for solutions. So by having the ability for you to onboard AppSource, we get the ability to do the quality check and help you make sure they're sound solutions. And yes, we are improving the time it takes to actually certify a solution. So average right now, last month, for recertifying has been a day, which is very different from sometimes 3 weeks. 3 months it has taken before. So we are investing heavily there. But here you see I have 2 applications, and you can see that from customers installing it, you can see here, for example, 36 for a specific app actually failed. If you haven't onboarded through AppSource or signed up for ISV Studio, you may actually not know that you have customers, or you don't even necessarily know who are the customers who are trying to install your solution. So if I go in now and click on Restkit, this app in here, I can click on the app tile. You will actually see much more detailed information about what is in here. And you can see, for example, the number of applications that's in Sandbox versus Prod, and you can see the actual tenants that it's in. And these are not, this is not a bug. For privacy reasons, your tenants might have names that cannot be disclosed close to all of your employees, so we are kind of obfuscating those. But you can get to them, obviously, through Partner Center. So now you can actually see of all the failures that we saw before, most of them are coming from Northwind traders. I can now go in and look specifically at this telemetry from a tenant perspective. So I can go in and look at Northwind traders, and you will go in and you will be able to double-click and navigate your way into why are they seeing error messages, so you can start troubleshoot from there and reach out to them and understand what's going on. We also have, obviously, information around your different packages that you have in market. So let's say you want to phase out earlier versions. You know now which customers to reach out, where they still in tenants, and kind of encourage them to upgrade to later versions, etc. So that's what we have in market with ISV Studio today. Would love to hear your feedback on where we should invest. We also here have, this is only on in my private little tenant here. You won't actually see it yet, it's not live. It is almost ready to go live. But here is an entry point into the app checker that we run for AppSource certification. So this is the same rules. They are not the same rules as you see inside the Maker experience in Power Apps, which is for every customer. This is running the very specific rule set that the AppSource team is running when they're certifying you for AppSource. So that means you can start to do your own due diligence. You can run it here. You can get all the error messages. You can make sure by the day you walk up and start certifying, you know your quality is there. That will actually save a lot of back and forth and a lot of days for certifying. So I really encourage you to start using this. It will roll out in the next couple of weeks. But that will give you more control for how quickly you can certify. We also want to move to a point where when you recertify, you don't publish from scratch when it's a new solution. We'll go and see what are the changes. So recertification ideally should require no human intervention, which will greatly accelerate. That's where, when you can just build a new version, push it out, and get it to customers in hours versus months, that's when we hope you will also see more value in publishing to AppSource and use the studio. So that's actually some of the reasons for why we make the dependency for you to install. The last piece we have here is about connector certification, where we are working with the data integration team, where you can, in here, submit connectors for certification. So any data connector you create for your own systems that you want certified to show up as part of our solutions, you can submit in here, and there's a guided user experience for how we are managing that. So this is kind of the first step to onboarding other business applications areas, not just Power Apps, into the ISV studio, because obviously connectors are mostly done by other ISVs. So with that, I am actually almost at the end. I just had one more slide here, which is about the end-to-end AppSource publishing, because we get a lot of questions around it. There are stages there. Right now, it's all around Partner Center. You need to be signed up as a partner, and then you will be guided through the certification and through the onboarding process. With that, that is all I have, and we are on time. So I will hang around for questions. If you have feedback for anything I've talked about, anything about being ISV on the platform or system integrator, julie.strauss@microsoft.com. Please abuse the email all you want. We would like to engage with you. We would like the feedback. Thank you.